Well, good evening. We are starting something different today. We are starting the great haiku thought experiment. Or to put it another way, fantasy distros. Now, haiku comes with some built-in software. It's a bit of an eclectic bunch of things. We got two text editors, not counting Nano, but that make it three. We've got Wonderbrush, which I think is in 32-bit, but not 64, or the other way around. We've got a browser, of course. And well, why those? Well, it sort of grew that way. You know, there's no real reason to change it, so things were just kept. And well, you know, our developers are a conservative bunch. Getting them to remove a package is not easy. Anyway, this channel is not about haiku, it's about haiku applications. So, thought occurred to me, if I were to take the haiku operating system and I wanted to populate it with applications to make it fully functional, what would I put in? And that's not as easy a question as you may think. Not at all. Because we've got native applications, we've got Qt, we've got GTK, we've got Java. Which of those? Wow. So there's a lot of different permutations. But anyway, let's run through those permutations, okay? Not all of them tonight. You know, we're going to do this one little episode at a time. And I'm going to have to say this in every episode. This is a thought experiment. I'm not actually going to do it. But it's a way to get to know the range of applications available for haiku, and also to see where are the gaps. What is not yet available in haiku? What's missing? So, we start off. We need a word processor, a spreadsheet, a presentation manager, database. Well, it's not really necessary for most normal users, but it's a useful thing to have. And when I say database, I don't mean the SQLite or MySQL backend, right? It's an actual front end that you can see on screen that you can use. You need a web browser. I know. We have a web browser. And I use it whenever possible. Web positive. I love it, and I only use other web browsers when web positive is not quite up to it yet. Which is less and less these days. Still, let's just assume that the other web browsers still offer something different. Bitmap editor. Okay, so you want to make nice graphics, you need a bitmap editor. And a vector editor. Yeah, there is Wonderbrush, but same situation as web positive. You know, let's just keep it out of the discussion for now. Assume that all these other applications are not going to go into our fantasy distribution. And finally, you need an email client. Same argument. So for tonight, we are going to start what I call the heavyweight champions. And by installing just 4 programs, we can get all of these. Right, where were we? The heavyweight champions. So here we're talking about ports from other operating systems, mostly from the Linux BSD side. But they're generally available on Windows as well. And by just installing 4 programs, we get everything on our list. So let's start with that. And the first one, absolutely nobody will be surprised to hear, is LibreOffice. That gives us our word processor, our spreadsheet, our presentations, and our database. Actually, it's got a vector editor as well, so love it or hate it, LibreOffice on Haiku. It's a big deal when that came out, and it remains that. This is the 500-pound gorilla. So, what's next? Web browser. Right. Iceweasel. Okay, this is a placeholder, because we have, in fact, 4 different Firefox-derived browsers. There's Iceweasel, LibreWolf, FloorP, and the 4th one, I always forget the name, Waterfox. There's really very little to choose between them. There are differences, but they're fairly subtle. So you can take this, when I say Iceweasel, it sort of stands in for any of the 4. Install them, see which one works best for you, and delete the others. I will say I have an impression that new updates come to Iceweasel first, and the other 3 sort of get them a week or 2 later. That's just an impression. I'm not 100% sure that that's actually the case. But yeah. Okay. Bitmap editor. Well, it has to be, doesn't it? The GIMP. The open source software's on world's answer to Adobe Photoshop. Not the easiest program to get to learn, but it can be done. Yeah, and if you're interested, I've got a alternative interface that makes it a little bit more Photoshop-like. But even without that, it's a complex program, but it can be learned. It's complex because there's so much of it, but it works. All right. Vector editor, LibreOffice Draw. Okay, you could say I need more than what it has to offer, And in that case, you could go for Krita. But for most of us, I think LibreOffice Draw will be enough. Then finally, the email client. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's an old picture and it's actually not even on Haiku. IceDove is Thunderbird under another name. That's industrial strength email handling. So, those are the first of our fantasy haiku distros. No. Let me know in the comments what you think of this idea. Right? So now we're going to try and replicate that with just native apps, with just KDE apps, with just Java apps, and see how far we get. Yeah, this should be good for, I don't know, 5 or 6 episodes. We'll see. Thanks for watching.